When she was only 19, Kate Jackson left her native Alabama to seek her fortune in New York. It took just one more move to Los Angeles to find it. She co-starred in The Rookies as a nurse, and then, of course, went on to play Sabrina as Charlie's Angels. And now we all know her as Mrs. King on The Scarecrow and Mrs. King. Kate says she likes to work. She's made feature films and movies for television. She's acted on stage, but this morning she really has her big break. the little bone right here.
A teeny little bone.
And she's wearing a cast. How did you do that?
I did this. I had a polo lesson. And because I need lessons, obviously, I'm not very good. And I heard it a little bit. And then because it's our hiatus, you know, we're not working right now. I have another 6 weeks off. I've been playing a lot of tennis.
And you played tennis with that?
I didn't want to give it up.
What do you think you're doing? You're on Charlie's Angels?
Well, I know. I guess I must have thought of it. I could ice it down until I couldn't really feel it and re-wrap it and hit a backhand, not a forehand, but a backhand.
You're crazy.
Well,
you're supposed to be such a nice, sensible girl.
Well, I guess this is... You know, but I nearly had some trouble coming through the LA airport because there's metal in this. And I came through and set the thing off, and I turned around and went through again.
You might not have made it today, huh?
I said, it's my buttons, it's the buttons. She said, it's not the buttons. And I was sort of standing like, what is this? And she sort of did a little mini frisk. And she said, honey, it's the armband, take it off.
We've never met. And
No,
I'm
we
so
haven't.
pleased to
I'm
be
very pleased to meet you, too. Thank you.
And I know that you're in town because your drama school, the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, which is one of the best in the country, is having a big celebration, a big party tonight.
Yes, it is.
What did it mean to you as a teenager coming here and going to that kind of school?
Well, when I left Alabama, I didn't really ever tell anybody that I wanted to be an actress because it's such a far-fetched thing for, you know, for anyone to want to be. I figured I would just go away and do it and then let them talk about it later.
What'd you say to your parents? I'm leaving? Goodbye?
Well, I had actually been away in Vermont at a summer stock theater as an apprentice that summer, and when I came home, I said, I know 2 people in New York now. I'd like to move to New York. And as soon as they picked their jaws up from the floor so that they could talk again, we discussed it and decided if I was going to indeed come to New York, I would want training, and the American Academy seemed to be the best place and most appropriate for me.
Did you lose the accent there? Did you ever have the accent?
Oh, the accent, I don't think left until somewhere in the middle of Charlie's Angels.
Can you still do it? When you go back home, do you slip into it? I
slip into it when I go back home. When I try to do a Southern accent now, I'm from Alabama, and I end up with sort of a Texas kind of an accent.
Funny. Well, at least they don't call you a Yankee, unless you spend too much time.
Well, they don't to my face, but I think they might.
They say, she's changed.
She's
that Kate, she's changed. I hear that when you came here, you used to visit Katharine Hepburn's house and somehow or other get in. She has a townhouse, and you would get in and leave flowers there for?
No, what I would do is I would walk up the street. Well, I'd walk up the street from Madison Avenue and 30th Street at the American Academy up to her neighborhood, and there is a bus stop. I don't want to say too much. If Miss Hepburn should happen to hear, I know she would just want to throttle me. But yeah. There's a bus stop not quite directly across the street from her house, but a little way up, and I'd stand, and she was doing Coco at the time. So I'd watch her come out and get in the car and leave, and she came out one evening when it was snowing and looked up and said, oh, what a lovely evening.
And you heard her say?
I said, oh, my dear.
Why didn't you ever go up and say, you know, like All About Eve, look at me.
I just couldn't.
Never had
I would die. You know, when I take the flowers, I knew that when the show was dark, she would go to their family place in Connecticut. So the day that I was certain she wasn't in New York, I would go to the kitchen door and take a bouquet of flowers. And
that's sweet.
I don't mean for it to be sweet, but it was sweet, I guess, at the time. And it was so exciting. She was just one of my main... was one of the main reasons that I adored New York.
She still is. I think we all have feelings about her that we have for very few other people.
I think we probably all do, too, and with good reason.
Kate, everything's been so good for you career-wise, but in the last few years you've had 2 broken marriages. That must, I would think, take apart some of your confidence, because you are so splendid and you are so sensible. And
well, whatever I've done, whatever I didn't do right, I hope I'll get it right the next time, because I do want there to be a next time, and I do want a family. And I do realize that old clock is ticking away, so I've got to go ahead and think about that. But I'm very hopeful that I will be able to have a happy marriage, and before too long. And yet right now I'm real happy with the work and very content. Wow. And have nice friends and feel good about everything.
You should. And the other will come.
Thank you.
She said, giving you the advice I don't take myself. Anyway, thank you. It's good to meet you. Have fun tonight.
Thank you.